Isso é uma província de Holanda. Frisia. Visitar isso depois. Isso é restaurante, but it looks very Dutch. You have a cow with a Dutch guy. Tem pessoas aqui que falam holandês of Fries.
Não, een beetje.
Een beetje
Een
Nederlands?
beetje Nederlands.
Oké, interessant.
2?
2. Zijn uw ouders ook Nederlands?
Ja.
Ja? Oké.
Maar ik kan niet zo goed Hollands praten. Ik versta
Ja,
een
dat
beetje.
begrijp ik. Hoeveel zei u voor
62.
62? Dank u wel. Iets Hollandees.
Oh, eu não entendi nada.
Interessant, hè? This thing can open, mas não tem... tem nada.
Tem nada. Ela fala bem?
I don't know if you can go inside.
Mas o que pode?
Would you? Vamos ver. Now, you can see it from here. Este coisa de azul. Isso é Delft blauw. Delft é uma cidade. É blauw é azul. Little dolls. Vlinders.
Borboleta.
Carambei. It's written differently than they write it here in Portuguese. Isso não é muito longe o trem.
Oh, não.
Not a very long tramway.
It's
Much bigger than I expected. We are here in Carambei, a water wheel. Mas talvez os imigrantes construíram casas mais como isso. Porque isso não é necessariamente muito holandês. Isso é uma réplica. Nederlandse boerderij, Dutch farm. So this is a reconstruction of the types of houses that the immigrants here built when they arrived. What is this for?
Eu acho que é pra debulhar milho.
Milho?
É, coloca milho ali,
Ah, talvez.
debulha e sai os grãos aqui.
Yeah, maybe it's for flour. And then it would be run by the water. In the Netherlands, a lot of museums also have all these sounds that they play. It's so funny. More agricultural equipment. House, but it's closed, but you can look through the window. Ow. Ow. Coisas muito tradicional. And more the living room, basically. So you have very dirty shoes or boots or something. Você pode fazer isso. A little church with a little cemetery, but they're all mock-ups, but they do look like how the old ones are supposed to have looked. So that's nice. And they made them for real and not out of plastic. Okay, there we have Pastor Willem V. Muller. Isso é uma parte de Bible. Os casos autênticos. Famílias. Gene. That's a Chinese man, if you ask me. He looks pretty Chinese or Vietnamese to me. This is more like a Russian house than a Dutch house because of the little Bushka dolls or whatever they're called. Yeah, and oh no, there's Chinese stuff too. It's just a bunch of random stuff. So in Carambei they had Germans, Indonesians, Italians, Poles, and Portuguese, and of course Dutch, but it doesn't say that here. But these are like, this is an example of things that you would find in a house.
Eu acho que é tailandês.
Provavelmente ele é de Indonésia, because that would make more sense. Products they made here, whatever. There's more products, and this is like a miniature version of the old town. It's something like a cooperative lactose shit industrial complex. This town is mostly cows, and Holambra is mostly flowers. A dairy factory. And the man with the milk. Isso é uma firma holandês, eu acho. Okay, so like traditional milk factory and dairy factory. I wonder if any of these old buildings still stand. Slaughterhouse. Escola. Now pode entrar. It has Dutch and Portuguese, but mostly Dutch. Yeah. Let's let him alone. Smith, blacksmith. The explanations are pretty much all in Portuguese. It's just the names that are also written in English and Dutch. But most of the people coming here will be Portuguese. It is interesting that you can just see that many of these things are original. That's why they're all so old. It's closed again. I'm not sure how much they'll mind us walking on the grass so much. Tractor Museum. Isso não é o nome de holandês, mas no holandês isso é Trekker Museum. John Deere. More John Deere. Massey Harris, I don't know that brand. Many American brands. More tractors, more sewing machines. Massey Ferguson, I think. Not busy at all right now because it's so bloody cold, but that makes it even more Dutch. A little dock with some old boats, more for show, but still. It looks so cute. Oh, there's actually people in there. Woohoo. Okay, that's. What is this, like a cafe? I'm not sure. Oi.
Olá, tudo bem?
O que você faz aqui?
Aqui são queijos.
Ah, queijo holandês.
Isso. A gente tem degustação do Golda.
Gouda.
Isso, Golda. Então a gente trabalha com ele maturado. Nós temos ele com 1 mês, 3 meses, 6 meses, 6 meses temperado com cominho, 12 e 18 meses de maturação.
Trying out some cheese. Ons hoekje. It's similar to things that I tried before. This is very Dutch. Isso não é holandês. Não. Isso é holandês. Speculaas. And here you can just walk around, but it's a little bit too cold. Another place to sit around, maybe for like eating or something. But it's too cold and there's not enough people coming here to keep it open, so a little boat that's half underwater. And I'm not sure what they have there. Isso é uma coisa holandês também. Tem níveis de água diferente. You have different levels of water. Here the water is lower and there the water is higher. It's busier here. Clogs, wooden clogs, and other souvenirs. Pode perguntar uma outra coisa? O nome de cooperativo é Frisia. Ou a província especificamente. Tem pessoas aqui que falam Frisia ou só holandês?
Tem também.
Tem?
Tem. A nossa chefe geral, de Bas, ela é da Frisia. Mas ela não está no momento.
Não está aqui?
Não está aqui, mas ela é da
Que
Frisia.
pena.
Ela foi para lá semana passada. Voltou de lá semana passada. Ficou 2 semanas na Holanda.
Ok. Mas muito interessante, porque Frisia isso é uma língua que é muito pequena.
Sim.
Não muitas pessoas falam isso. Eu entendo muito, mas eu não falo.
Eles também são da Holanda. Ze wonen, hier wonen in Holland, hè?
Ja.
Ze hebben familie hier, hè?
Oh, so. Ik snap hem. They have a little miniature town here. Similar to what we walked through. Okay, so here we're in another, what you could call a Dutch town, with a massive industrial complex, which is what the people came here for and built here. But now we're in kind of another historic park, because this was also built in this case 2001, the windmill, which I suppose you could also enter, and next to it the restaurant. It's raining a little bit, but just little enough for me not to worry too much. I hope it doesn't get worse. But let's see what this is. I'm not sure if this is the museum or that, but the guy pointed here, so let's see. Museu Histórico de Castrolanda, anno 2016, which is even later than the windmill then, so it's even more recent. Seems like this is a bank, which makes sense with a big sign. I just don't know not familiar with all the names of the banks there, but they've built it in kind of a slightly similar style. Well, relatively similar. I would say it's a similar style, but then that must be the museum. So the museum is closed, fechado. But the most important thing to me is the whole fact that here in Brazil, next to this massive agricultural industrial complex, they've built this authentic looking Dutch farm, which looks like any farm you could find in the Netherlands. It's only maybe a bit newer for its building style. And here there's a little farmhouse. They show some agricultural equipment. And I suppose that inside it would mostly show Dutch living spaces. From what you can see here, there are some of the blue tiles over there. You can see inside. And I think it's mostly, you would see what a normal farm would look like here, what normal Dutch houses would look like, and especially in that time period. This farm is much more representative of real Dutch farms in the Netherlands than I suppose the farms that the people lived here. And this is the windmill, which is very similar to the other one that I've visited. And we're here in the rain, which gives it even more of a Dutch feel, if that's what you're looking for. The restaurant seems open, and we'll see about the windmill, but I don't think it is, but we'll see. Not sure what that is. Library, restaurant. From what I understand, this restaurant is probably more for the people working here than actual tourists, because there can't be too many. But for the days that the museum is actually open, which as far as I've seen is probably only on Friday, maybe a few other days. But it's Monday right now, and they said the next day that it's open is Friday, so that's not great. But the things they show inside can't be too different from the things I've seen before. It rains a little, it gets better, it rains a little, but it keeps raining. But that's the weather. I think above here, it's either mostly, maybe like sleeping areas. I don't fucking know. No, it can't be. So the museum is a typical representation of what a farm in the north of the Netherlands looks like. And the windmill was built after 50 years of immigration as a reminder, kind of.
Where are you from?
Netherlands.
Nederland.
Ja, Nederlands.
Spreek Nederlands, Engels?